18 months ago nearly, my mother had a devastating stroke which paralysed her. It changed her from an active and independent 87-year-old who was swimming, cycling, who was doing voluntary work for her disabled neighbours, into somebody who is now sadly paralysed. She was hospitalised initially in North Staffs Hospital, and I knew from what I knew about Staffordshire that I had to be at her bedside day and night to make sure that she survived. So I spent a month living there. And when they gave up on my mum and threatened to send her to the other Staffordshire hospital, which was the one where hundreds of elderly patients were left to die, I fought tooth and nail, along with my family, to get her moved to London. And we won that. We got her to London. But even then, the struggle doesn't end. We provided a whole set of intensive care to make sure she could get what she was entitled to, just like families up and down the country are having to do, fighting and campaigning for the basic things that we're entitled to. Women like my mother built the National Health Service, and as they come to the end of their lives, how despicable is it that this is what we face? Since she wasn't recovering in hospital, in fact, she suffered pneumonia, bladder infections, on and on, other complications, so we brought her home, which was a very difficult decision. But on the other hand, it was a decision we had to make because she was not going to survive in hospital. So that was when even more of our full-time work began. That was an unwaged full-time job. There was no real help in the community. There was limited physiotherapy. There was nothing to help us in our home to adapt our home for her needs. And we were expected to pay for everything. And now she's being forced to sell her home to pay for the care home, which sadly we've had to put her in because we could no longer cope with her needs. And that's not what anybody near their lives, the end of their lives, should face. A caring society is what should pay for my mother and women and men and children like that. But I had another full-time job which also needs care and compassion and campaigning. I work with traumatised survivors seeking asylum from rape and racist attacks. And it's clear that the government and the agencies that they fund, including voluntary sector organisations, are there targeting vulnerable people like my mother, like the mothers in our self-help group, and in every sector of our society, denying the life-saving support that the welfare state was designed for all of us. We've got endless, as people have said, endless propaganda from the government saying, and the media, that's pitting us against each other for the meagre things that they say are available. They're taking everything away because they believe we have so little social value, and every entitlement that we won, they want to slowly erode. Like asylum seekers before us, we now face a denial of our rights to everything, cuts to benefits, deportations out of London, food vouchers instead of cash, reliance on food banks, as people have said, and charities, and prison sentences for crimes when we are forced to commit them to survive. Few spoke out when asylum seekers were targeted, but now we have to all speak out and all support every one of us that's being demonised, demeaned, and labelled as liars, because we are all one and the same people. The petition is a fantastic tool. It's an anti-racist, anti-sexist initiative. It speaks to 99% of us who are carers, and hopefully we can sway the other 1%, who knows. But we have to show how and what we're entitled to, and that is what the petition does. We can use it to fight against the workhouse and for our right to care without being impoverished. We will have a society that values us all, no matter who we are or where we were from, and it better be in our lifetimes. Thank you.